Hi, we're Bastille, well, we're two of them, and we are at Reading 2012 with virtual festivals. I guess we're still sort of just building things really, and trying not to push it down anyone's throats or anything. So, you know, some people seem to like the song, which is wicked. And yeah, just kind of, I guess, building towards releasing an album and some more singles. That's a really boring answer, sorry.
Early next year.
Yeah, it'll be early next year. It's finished. It's getting mastered at the end of the month. So we're just deciding on the track order, which is weirdly difficult. I don't know. It's all those weird finishing touches that make it from a bunch of songs we've been working on for ages into like a final thing that we've got to let go of. But yeah, no, it should be done soon and out early next year. Yeah, no, definitely. It's you know, there are songs on there that are a couple of years old, a few years old. You know, all of it was sort of written with this in mind. So even before we got a record deal, we were sort of working on the album and what would become the album. So, you know, we've had it's been quite nice and relaxed. We've sort of this whole year we've been gigging as much as we can, touring, playing festivals, trying to build things up, and constantly working on the album and working on songs. And we've got like a fair bit more than we need for the album. But there's also a couple of really new songs. Like Bad Blood was the latest song, was the last song that I wrote and recorded, and pretty much as soon as it was done we decided to release it. So it's been quite satisfying. I think
well, because we used to play the sort of a version of What Would You Do back when we didn't have enough songs. We had about 6 songs set that we would do all the time, and then if we ever got an encore, which was rarely, but if it happened, we were like, right, we don't have any more songs, but we got this sort of wedding band cover of What Would You Do, which everyone knows but doesn't remember that they know. And then
so we decided to record it, and I think when we recorded it, it's when it kind of became what it is now. And it just, I don't know, I think we'd always been really snobby about covers and about doing them, and it started off as a bit of a joke, but then we did this cover and we tried to ignore the original and produce it like it was one of our own tracks. And I think because it started as a joke, and because obviously with that song we couldn't be further from the people that it's about and the place that it's about. You know, it's like very American, and it's about strippers and stuff, and none of us are strippers, weirdly. And so yeah, I don't know. And it was just something that became really fun to do. And then as a bit of a break from the album, I got a bit ill and we had to take some time off, and we just thought it'd be fun to do a load of covers of songs that you kind of remember and know so well, like, because we sort of remember them from being on the radio when we were tiny, but that you can't really pinpoint like who they're by, and you don't remember the people, but the songs themselves, even though they're sort of real pop, they're kind of classics in a lot of people's minds. And we just thought it'd be really fun to do that and mix in film soundtracks that we love and quotes from films and some of our songs, and just sort of mesh it all into an album. And it kind of almost feels like our sort of half debut album, or like an EP that led into it, because we put a lot of work into it. It was really fun as a process in terms of just trying out new things production-wise, because I guess I think the mixtape's a lot more electronic in some areas than our album is. Our album's much more sort of a band feel.
I think it'd be nice to do another mixtape, but maybe along a different set of lines, and so not another bunch of covers of the same sort of, but maybe sort of evolve on the original theme, yeah. and see where that leads, I suppose.
Because we could do obscure covers of like embarrassing old 90s songs till we die, and it'll be really fun, but I don't think it would get us anywhere. But yeah, I don't know. And in terms of playing him live, like I think I kind of feel justified in playing those covers because we've recorded them and put them out. That seems ridiculous, but we played them so many times now, they almost are starting to feel like our songs, yeah. Even though they're very much not. But especially, you know, this summer, playing crowds at festivals, a lot of the people in those crowds not knowing who we are, having never heard us before, it's always, I don't know, I guess quite a nice thing to throw out some songs there that they're totally not expecting to hear.
Almost every festival, I think probably every festival we've gone to, I suppose we're quite a pessimistic band anyway, which is good because then because what's happened with us, we've been more often than not surprised by the turnout, which is always good.
Yeah.
But
no, I guess it feels like we've been really lucky. Every I think probably led by me, who's the biggest pessimist in the world, and I think everything's going to be terrible. We're generally quite pleasantly surprised, and at festivals, I mean, you mentioned radio. We've only really in the last couple of weeks got any play on radio, really. Like we've kind of, it's always felt like, I don't know, we've always gigged really hard and recorded loads and worked as hard as we can, and I guess because of that, it's always, and because of maybe the lack of like radio and press and stuff, it's felt, I think it's why we're so overwhelmed every time we go and play a crowd, and there's people there and they know all the words, and I think quite a lot of our songs are sort of online in some form or another, so we're just so shocked. Like, I guess when it's our own headline stuff, we're playing at a venue called Coco in London for our next headline gig, and that is just, I don't know, it's just mental that our album's not out and we're playing at such a big venue. It's for all of us, it's a complete head fuck. It's really weird. But you know, I don't know, it's the summer, it's been wicked.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Yeah, I've been a few times, and in my mind it's always coupled with there's wicked bands playing and having a really good time in the festival, and then going and camping and being scared that I'm going to die and that my tent's going to be burnt, and yeah, that I'm going to leave with horrible body burns all over me. But I love Reading, and it's I haven't been in a few years, so it's really nice to come back and be playing.
Weird festival story.
How about the time you got thrown out of Glastonbury?
I got thrown out of Glastonbury.
Is that weird enough?
Is that weird?
It's hard to get thrown out of Glastonbury.
This is really embarrassing, and I don't know why I'm saying this on camera, but when we were at the Isle of Wight festival last year, I went on a roller coaster, which I dragged, not a roller coaster, on like a big sort of one of those weird spinning rides. I dragged everyone onto it, got off, and was immediately sick.
His face afterwards was like this table. He walked off, I was like, Dan, you're right, and he went, just behind the bin. That was great. That happened.
That was a high point, yeah.
I didn't have a ticket.
And there's our answer.
and so like I got snuck in.
Carl got snuck in, he was trying to leave, and well, this is the thing, he had to leave early to go to work, and as he was leaving, he was like, he hadn't been to sleep all night and stumbled into the security place and was like, guys, how do I get to the station? And they, for some reason, checked his wristband. And bearing in mind he was about to do this sort of like half-hour walk to the station, they checked his wristband, saw that he didn't have a proper one, wrote him a certificate saying like, you've been ejected from Glastonbury, which must be almost as good as your graduation.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then they drove him to the station. So all in all,
perfect.
You got a souvenir and the lift.
And yeah, it all worked out. It worked out perfectly in the end. It all got sorted out. So I mean, if you're gonna have if you've got the big haul, long haul from Glastonbury, and you need to leave, get yourself chucked out. So start, just be a bit aggressive to security. Then take your wristband off and say, oh, where am I going? No wristband, bosh, and you're fine.